People ask me all the time what I miss most from my first hardcore world and what I wish I could bring forth into the second. And the answer is always the same thing: the ability to fly. I miss having my elytra and being able to soar across the clouds, a rocket in my hand, literally unlocking a whole new level of travel and unlocking the entire potential of my Minecraft world. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. But to unlock the power of flight, you have to beat the game. Despite its name, the end is not the end of the game, it's the beginning of a whole new level. And defeating the Ender Dragon and scouring the external islands to find an end city with a ship is what we're going to be doing today. But before we head off to another dimension locked behind a secret portal buried deep underground, we go back to a random encounter on the ocean that would change the trajectory of my playthrough entirely for this world. This is the third episode in Minecraft Hardcore Series 2. It's great to be back for another video, everybody, but before we get started, could you all just do me a quick favor? YouTube appears to be unsubscribing a lot of people from channels recently, and I've seen a lot of comments saying that they were subscribed, but you're not anymore. So go ahead and check if you can. And also, if you enjoyed these videos and you're not subscribed, why not subscribe? It's free. You can always unsubscribe later if you don't like some of my newer content, and it really helps me out if you leave a like and a comment to boost this into the algorithm. But with all of that YouTuber-y kind of speak now out of the way, let's get into the video and talk about the next chapter in my story in Hardcore Minecraft. I started the day casually sailing around the oceans surrounding my home. I was really just generally exploring around on my way back towards the desert to get a lot more glass to start on another big building project. And then I took a slightly different path and found something that I took almost 200 days to find in the old world. No, wait. Did we pass by this before and not notice this?
Welcome.
Did we pass by this before and not notice this? Oh, it's tempting. There could be sponges in there. It's tempting. It's tempting. I made some effort to mark the island immediately close to the ocean monument, but I wasn't quite prepared to dive in there all on my own. I didn't have enough arrows or other supplies needed to be able to weasel my way into the ocean monument, and I was still a little bit nervous from all the guardians. We're gonna go. That was until being motivated by chat to risk everything and taking on an ocean monument a little bit under geared. I wasn't gonna be dumb about it, but this was gonna be a big thing. Ruin portals? On page 236 of the Minecraft Wikipedia, clearly says that these are ruin portals, not abandoned portals. Get your lore straight, Lagundo. What kind of YouTuber are you? Somewhere around, because there's like 2 coral. Yeah, there's our old boat. I slept back over at the Savannah Village and then started collecting wood for doors. You see, I'm old school enough in Minecraft that I don't think of a potion of water breathing when I think of an ocean monument. I think of doors, because doors aren't waterloggable and will make you an air pocket where you can survive indefinitely. I found another desert temple while I was running around collecting acacia trees, and the loot was pretty good. Nothing really too much to mention on, but the respiration book inside made me feel like this was a sign. Ooh, hello. A few golden carrots in the ruined nether portal as well to shore up my food reserves. That's definitely a plus. And then 2 different boats and a little bit of treasure from a buried treasure map. In all honesty, the day was going well and I was feeling lucky. I was feeling good. So I went over to another desert village, slept, and then started sailing. First back to the Savannah Village to build up all of the doors that I would use for my air pockets, and then over towards the ocean monument to risk everything. I did a quick pit stop over at the island to prepare a chest for supplies, and then had one last thing to find. We're gonna have to go back and then we'll come back, but because we need to be smart about this. Grabbing a cow and quickly dehydrating it from 12 buckets of milk, I headed back over to the ocean monument to get started. That I could do this and mess up and die before the first video makes it to YouTube, which would be bad. All right, YOLO raid. Go. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Okay. Dolphin, come here. And you know what? When it comes to supply and demand, moving the supply to where the demand is, that usually works. So I shoved a cow in a boat and took it over to the island. Yay! Now I feel a lot more safe. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. To set it up in its temporary new home while I went to rest before the battle. I dove in underneath the ocean monument using doors to make a little air pocket and buckets of milk to clear the initial mining fatigue from all 3 of the Elder Guardians before mining in directly next to the central Elder Guardian's chamber. The faster that I can kill these 3 mobs in particular, the better I will do overall. And I know bows don't work particularly well underwater, but when you're at this close quarters, they do the job. I was able to break a line of sight with the Elder Guardian with the wall just enough that it would never hit me, and I was constantly able to hit it. Well, that didn't do too much. Okay. Feel a little bit better. 2 hearts? That's nothing! We're gonna be fine. After that little bit of minimal damage, I got a lot more courageous. 1 dead. First sponge. That was the interior middle one. I need to go to the top center for this next one. Swimming around the labyrinthian corridors of this ocean monument, however, it's really easy to get lost as all of the modules are near identical if you're not really paying attention. I found my way underneath the topmost Elder Guardian for this ocean monument and used a bow sniping up to just kill it without really that much of a fight, and then continue swimming around trying to find the third one. 1 heart of damage! I'm beating them with the bow. I'm not even bothering to use the sword. Okay, where is the last one? Using a little bit of milk so I could blast my way through walls to be able to increase my mobility and open up new pathways, I was able to finally find the final Elder Guardian of this area, blocking up a little air pocket space and then just bowing it from around a corner, which is my go-to strategy. Break. Elder Guardians defeated. Temple secured! At this point, the monument was done, and the mining fatigue was cleared, so I spent some time collecting the sea lanterns, the dark prismarine, which is my favorite block ever, and all of the gold, which has been set up inside the central vault of the overall structure. With that, I headed out the way I came in and returned to dry land a victor with a bunch of new blocks available in my build palette. But YOLO run complete! The next day IRL, and also in Minecraft, I returned to the island telling people who had missed the run through the ocean monument what had happened on the previous stream. Because it is worth noting, the next hardcore video, it's a 100 days video, but it's also not a 100 days video. Like, the hardcore videos are just gonna be chapters. I love that. Yes! Nice. 3 from that one. That's good. We're gonna like do a swim around the monument. I want to check because we have this island, right? This is the only land in render distance, which would be really cool if that's like, if this monument is just surrounded by ocean on all sides. Because I have a build project I want to do with a monument that I've never been able to do. I also wanted to start preparing this space for a mega build that I want to do. I want to drain one of these ocean monuments and turn it into a nether monument and rotate the biome structure and block palette of the 4 main structures in the game. A nether fortress, an ocean monument, an end city, and a stronghold. Noticing a few turtles though, I got distracted, as I often do, to get a few turtle eggs for an AFK gold farm instead of having to worry about meleeing it myself, and then started sailing around the monument trying to see if this was a good build for the space. And then I saw it. Guardian farm for dark prismarine. Oh yes. Guardian farm and a squid farm to be able to do... Okay. Hey y'all, want to go get some more sponges? No way did we just find another. Emboldened by my first somewhat easy conquering of an ocean monument just 2 days prior, it was time to go at it again. I quickly returned back to the island, grabbed a few resources, milked a cow over in a swamp, and then got ready for another fight. This time, with the dolphin assisting me, I was able to swim right through the front door instead of having to worry from digging underneath. This was one of the unfinished ocean monuments, which meant the overall structure was far more open, and there were walls missing, which made navigating it so much easier. They're above us. Shoot. Oh, shoot, there's the first elder. Using some of the sponges that I had collected from the one previous to try to meme on everything, I forgot just how prevalent water is in Minecraft and how quickly it will fill in gaps. But I used doors and sniped my way through to continue killing Elder Guardians. The first one fell relatively easy, and I continued to swim my way through the ocean monument, just killing anything in my path. I was far more unstoppable than I originally expected. Shooting into water from air negates some of the penalties that happens on bows in the first place. So I was able to kill the second Elder Guardian from a much greater range. Ooh, 2 whole hearts. Elder Guardian does 2 hearts. But before killing the third, I headed to the central vault chamber. Bop. Oh, that's right, we still have mining fatigue. Using a little bit of milk to dig into the final Elder Guardian's chamber and a sponge to clear out an air bubble for being able to use my bow, this fight was relatively over before it started. And look at that. Look at that. Look at how easy that was. Collected even more dark prismarine and recouped all of the sponges that I had spent in doing this overall battle and ended up 1 down. I don't know where I lost it, but it's somewhere out there. Heading back to the island with a sign to commemorate my success. This was a great start to the stream that day. The rest of that day's stream was basically some small chores and work around the house. Doing a little bit of sprucing up in the Cave of Wonders, using some of dried kelp blocks for some color contrast, where I can continue to feature different members of the community and people who are so supportive down here and immortalize them into the world. Like, hi, wheel, wheel, give wheel, gambling. I'm starting to get concerned I might be a bad influence on all of you all. Yeah, we do a lot of gambling in my stream. I'm starting to think that this might not be the best influence on everybody who watches, but it's always fun to do. All right, so farms. And as we started expanding the area that I was previously going to use as a smeltery into what is going to become a huge, massive, biggest I've ever built redstone sorting system, I created a little bit of a to-do list for everything that I wanted to do in this series so far. Now this board is gone, but the clip is here. Pause it and get a bit of a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing. The next day in Minecraft was on the first stream of Lagundo's Day Off, the first one, back on March 5th. Gives you an idea. I'm a bit behind on videos. But I was working with my villagers, trapping a zombie underground, which will eventually be used to cure them. Come on, get in the cart, Billy. Why does Billy not get in the cart? Billy, get in the cart. Okay, Billy's back in the cart. With Billy secured, I'm basically using this space to transform iron into emeralds with a lot of experience for once I have mending on all of my gear, being able to repair things as well. I still need to infect and cure most of the villagers in this overall trading hall. Only 2 of them have actually ever gone through that process, but until I get more of a gold farm, that's a really expensive thing to do. I'll get there, just give me time. But the main thing I was looking for was ice. So I thought, why don't I use Frostwalker? I have a bunch of librarians. I went through so many different librarians before I eventually found one with a Frostwalker enchantment. It wasn't the best, but it was enough where I was able to use it to set up a little bit of pool of water and gonna break this ice and turn it into packed ice. So that way the sorting system can go as planned. Oh no. Does it not let me pick up the ice from Frostwalker? The boots of failure now sit in my core base, reminding me every time that I still don't know this game entirely. Ooh. Is there any worries about or glitches about Strider riding right now? Or is Strider still pretty safe? You see, since I still want to avoid hoglins and piglins, both of them being relatively dangerous for me right now, I needed alternate ways to navigate the nether, and I really needed to go through the nether to get slow falling potions before I feel safe going to the end and killing the dragon. But I was so nervous about being that close to the lava where one glitch or one button press would end the run entirely. And that's when I was reminded that piglins will trade gold for fire resistance potions, which was immediately what I dropped everything to go and do. That is a good call. We have blocks and blocks and blocks of gold sitting around from 2 ocean monuments. So 46 should be enough to get a potion or 2. Heading over to the Nether and luring a piglin into a perfectly secure and safe trading facility, I spent over a stack of gold and ended up with multiple fire resistance potions, having a few satellite facilities around the Nether floor as I was continuing to collect piglins and turn it into awesome gains. There you go, friends. Thank you for your service, your assistance, much appreciated. All right, we're much better equipped. We are much better equipped now. We have 9 pearls, which should be almost enough to guarantee a portal opening. Turns out it was not enough. It was not enough at all, and I'd end up wasting an hour IRL fixing this mistake, but future Lagundo knows that, past Lagundo had no idea. But with some fire resistance potions and a bunch of ender pearls in my pocket, the only thing I was missing for a end run was the slow fall potion, and that meant we needed to find another fortress. So I dug my way down to the lava level and started bridging my way out towards the Striders with a warped fungus on a stick and a saddle in my inventory. Oh, come on, they're walking away. Okay, come over here, buddy. One eventually walked over to my bridge, wondering what the heck I was doing. I popped a saddle on them, put the fishing rod in my hand, and away we went. Okay. Let's go! Having fire res on board, meaning that I didn't need to worry about the lava that was actually underneath me, this is actually really cool. Like, this is legitimately an awesome way to travel in the Nether, and I was having so much fun with a huge smile on my face while doing it. As I rounded a corner, I found a second Nether fortress, and it looked like this one could be a little bit bigger than my first. This is super helpful. I love Striders. Hey, hot tourist destinations. We got the purple. As I went to make landfall, something happened. Also, I'm really sorry, but can I lead you? Oh, I forgot the lead. Okay. Okay, so they left. And I started digging up into the fortress, spiraling through one of the main supports until I made my way to the interior structure. I really only had one goal for today, Nether wart. And that's all I needed, like 2 pieces, and I was done. We could literally stop now. We've gotten 4. Okay, I lied, I kept going, but a few diamonds in a chest is definitely nice, right? There's more saddles! There's more saddles! Here we go. I eventually found my way to a Nether wart farm inside of the fortress and collected my gains. We're good. We got everything we need. We can get back. Lies. Drew Frederick von Meepleston Wicker the Third, aka Chonky Boy. Running back on Strider number 2, Chonky Boy the Second, as we would come to call them. Okay, away we go! I am reminded sometimes of how ridiculous the mechanics of Minecraft are, but it's just kind of perfect. Everyone was trying to get me to right click, and I was sure that that meant I would fall though, so just as I hit the bridge, I did to unlock another advancement. I did get the advancement though. Before going through the portal and running around my base in celebration, we are going to be killing the dragon before the end of this day in real life. I immediately got to work in brewing up all of the potions that I think I would need for a successful ender dragon fight. Slowfall potions and strength to make sure that I was prepared for a non-gravity induced death and to be able to do additional damage to the dragon, so I had to do fewer cycles of the overall combat. Then I threw an ender eye and was off to the races. It headed through a part of the woods that I had not yet fully explored, back the way I normally came, directly opposite my villager trading hall. I continued until I hit the ocean, and then I started sailing around, making my way around a big chunk of the land that I had yet to actually traverse. The jungle was even bigger than I originally expected, with a whole huge secondary section off to the east from where I started. As I continued through a full Minecraft day, making my way through the land, I lost several eyes to them breaking in the process, going from treetop to treetop and marking my way with several torch pillars. At one point in time, the eye started to curve downward, letting me know that I was approaching the actual central structure of this stronghold. So I started mining down and carving out a space, hoping to find what I could. I have ender eyes. I don't want to throw another one because I don't know where it's going to go. And in this small of a room, I'm going to lose it. I mean, we could try. Here, ready? Oh, it just went down. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's like, oh, it just went down 3 blocks later in the stronghold. As I dug into the forgotten crypts of this stronghold, the cracked and mossy brick prevalent around me, it was immediately present that this place was pretty massive. And it once again intersected with an abandoned mineshaft. My life is just magnetically attracted to these things. So the two structures crisscrossing and overlapping with each other caused for even more confusing and overall just frustrating navigation through this space. I spent the better part of an hour just running around all of these areas trying to find the one room that I actually needed. I continued running around these different intersecting structures until I eventually caught a glimpse of endstone through a set of iron bars. I'd found it. Oh, found it. I used a creeper to open up the wall because why not? That feels like an appropriate entrance. And quickly broke the silverfish spawner so that I didn't have to worry about anything coming in. At that point, I set up all of my kit and turned towards the portal, and it turns out I didn't have enough eyes. I was actually short. So I quickly dug a vertical shaft up to the surface, clearing out all of the trees and leaves around this area for a little bit of a landing zone. I surveyed from on top of the closest, highest jungle tree where I was and had a rough idea of where I needed to go. Making my way back through the forest floor of the jungle and heading out to open ocean. I spotted and needed to hunt down a few endermen just to get about 4 more pearls to be able to actually complete this portal. After that, it was back through the jungle in the middle of the night, which was actually super dangerous, and then opening up the portal and stealing myself for what would be a huge battle. Spin 20 times before going through the ender portal. 1, 2, 3, this is good luck. 4, 5, oh god, 6, ow, I whacked my foot, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ha! We're good to go. All right, Dizzy Gundo. And with that little bit of pre-life and death silliness out of the way, it was time to get started. We either return to this world a victor, or we never return at all. Thankfully, it was an easy spawn. I stashed all of my resources away and immediately headed to the surface. I thought, let's collect a couple pearls to be safe. Just in case I want a couple pearls. I do not like that. Being knocked out of my water and not having enough blocks was actually pretty dangerous. The fact that my run key was also not working made it even more so. My initial thought was just run, build myself up a little bit of a platform where I could get away and get safe, and it got so close. Oh, God. My heart is pounding right now, chat. Down to just one heart. One heart! And it wasn't even the dragon. My heart was racing. I dug into the pillar even further to establish more of a safe space and then slowly exterminated any endermen who were currently aggressive with me. They're not angry at me. We can get back to work. Once they were done, it was time to focus on the main target. A few stragglers still attacked here and there, but I was able to take them down and not get knocked out of my water, bowing the ender crystals on top of all of the obsidian pillars to slowly whittle down the dragon's ability to heal. As it came down for its first perch, however, it took all of 1 hit before it was immediately knocked off. This was a very flighty kind of dragon, not one where I'd be fighting on the ground. I was very happy for my slow fall potion as it threw me up into the sky, but I pearled down to the ground level to be able to get back to engagement that much quicker, primarily relying on my bow to do almost all of the damage. Every time I would get close, it would barely stay there for a few seconds before taking off again. This was an archery battle, and as I knocked my final arrow and prepared to loose it, the battle was about to turn in my favor. This one's for you, Twitch! Yes! I quickly scooped up all the experience and then went to celebrate.
Gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Much appreciated. The cookies on board.
After a few celebratory cookies, I went over and grabbed the dragon egg, the only one of it in my world, and safely stashed it away. I built up a little bit of a pedestal and then threw an ender pearl in because I was not yet done in this dimension. Warping from the central island to the outer islands, I built up a quick post immediately so I'd be able to find my way, and then focused on setting up stone so I'd be able to bridge from island to island. That's the one thing that I didn't actually come prepared with, was things to structure and build from one place to another. After about a half an hour worth of searching, I found my first end city. Unfortunately, it didn't have a ship.
City at the end of the game. We got our first shulker shell too.
So while I might not have been able to attain flight in the first end city that I encountered, I was going to level up my storage game. Shulkers being able to be killed for their shells so that you can eventually make shulker boxes and multiply your inventory by a factorial level is just so awesome. I love being able to maintain so much stuff. So I spent the time clearing out the city and then getting a few of the resources at the very roof.
Come on, give me a ship. Somewhere, give me a ship.
But as I stood on the roof of the structure looking around for a ship in the near distance, it was just an absolute strikeout. And that's where this day ended. Me flightless and still confined to the ground. But that's not where this video ends, because I told you before we hit the end, we were definitely going to be taking flight. The next day, I was speed bridging over the void, returning back to the end to just slowly make my way through. And then I found a second end city.
Are you trying to find Electro? I am.
Welcome.
All right. Do we get a boat? Please tell me there's a boat. I cannot deal with 2 cities and no ship. There's a ship! Oh! Oh, we're gonna fly! We're gonna fly!
Now I know the dragon fight had me down to just 1 heart. This, however, is far more nerve-wracking because all it takes is 1 key to just unregister itself for 1 second and you're dead. I did eventually make my way back to solid land using a pumpkin for traversing most of the areas until I got into the city proper. Fighting off all of the shulkers to be able to collect additional shulker shells and just occasionally make my way across, I was super excited for this. We were getting so close to my ultimate goal. I downed a slow falling potion while over land so that I wouldn't go kersplat right before I attained my ultimate goal in this day of Minecraft and bridged my way across to unlock the main thing I was here for. 250 days, and now we could take flight.
The sky's the limit. Oh my god.
I was prepared this time too and had an unbreaking book and an anvil ready to go so that it would be able to be at max efficiency as we were flying around. I grabbed a dragon head as well for decoration because of course, and then just enjoyed the view.
Check it out. So hyped. The wings. The wings are on. Oh my god, the wings are on. We can fly. I've been waiting for this for so long. And of course, I biff it directly into a wall. Well, that's a Lagundo. That's a Lagundo clip if there ever was one.
Alright, I might be really good at not dying, but there are times where I wonder just how I've survived this long as I sailed over the end, continuing to find additional end cities and more elytras, because I want more than one this time.
I mean, okay, there's an end. Can you imagine? Hold up a minute.
Welcome.
Can you imagine this end city? Can you imagine if we had spawned through that end gateway?
Welcome.
Can you imagine
This end city was absolutely busted, and I can only imagine what would have happened if we had spawned on top of this thing when we eventually made it here. The presence of that gateway tells me, though, one of the other gateways from the main island will send me here. I raided the ship, grabbing all of the potions and a second elytra, before finding another end city, hitting a third ship for a third one. Now we have 2 backups and 1 for display. Returning back to the end city with the gateway immediately on top, I pearled through and returned back to the main island, and then back to my home base. Fly! We can fly! We're back in the main world and we can fly! And as I soared around, flying through the skies, unlocking a whole new method of travel for my hardcore world, I had accomplished the main goal of what I wanted to do today. Hello, villager friends, in your endless hell of crafting the iron golems. And that is the 3rd chapter in my story in Hardcore Minecraft Series 2. Now you might be wondering, where do we go from here? What do we do next? Well, there's a whole 150 odd days over on Twitch that are very quickly going to be turned into another video. We started work on that huge building project of the storage system, which took a lot of time, but it's gonna be like a minute or 2 in these videos over here. From completing the game, we now go to mega builds and huge projects. I have so many different things I want to build that will all make their way to YouTube, but if you want to be there while I'm working on them, hang out with a chill community of people who are welcoming and awesome, come join me on Twitch. Actually, I'm live right now. Come say hi and see where this world has developed into as we continue to work our way through. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to keep an eye out as more videos are coming very soon. We're going to be up to 1 a week pretty much in the next few weeks. I'm super excited for it. That's it for now, everybody, though. Be good to each other, and I'll talk to you next time.